From talk of interesting new speedsters to a bright new future for The Flash Season 9 finale revealed 3 new speedsters. After 9 seasons of saving Central City from evil, rogues, and time-traveling villains, the fastest man alive hands the reins to a new generation of heroes. Barry Allen's long run as The Flash has finally come to an end. For 9 seasons, the show has excited fans of the comics and the CW's Arrowverse alike. But it all came to a head in the show's finale during the A Better World storyline.
Nobody's going anywhere.
Coming into the last season, The Flash and his supporting team of friends and fellow heroes managed to overcome longtime nemesis, the Reverse Flash, aka Eobard Thawne. Just as they thought it was going to be smooth sailing, a new threat ran into their lives. The Red Death tested Barry and Team Flash, but the dangerous villain was just a red herring. A character from the series' very first season raced back into Central City as the biggest threat The Flash had ever faced. In the first season of The Flash, Eddie Thawne was the competition for Iris West's affection. The Central City cop butted heads with Barry on several occasions before he learned that his bloodline, the Thawnes of the future, would be some of the most evil dudes to ever grace God's green earth. In order to save everyone from his descendant, Eobard Thawne, Eddie heroically took his own life. Fast forward 8 seasons and the Negative Speed Force, an evil version of the same energies that made Barry Allen the Flash, needed an avatar of its own to take out the Scarlet Speedster. The malevolent force went back in time and plucked out Eddie Thawne before he took his own life, with promises of the life he never had, the life that Barry did. The Negative Speed Force tricked Eddie Thawne into becoming its guy, Cobalt Blue. Thawne, as Cobalt Blue, created his own posse consisting of past Flash villains including Savitar, an evil alternate universe version of Barry Allen who was resurrected by Thawne. Then there was August Hart, also known as the villainous Godspeed. This piece of work was a murderous speedster from the future who killed Jay Garrick in his own timeline and ends up being defeated in the future by Barry and Iris's daughter, Nora. Next up was the not-so-charming Zoom. A former serial killer, Zoom was a speedster who also killed poor Jay Garrick in another timeline, and went so far as to take Garrick's identity before being found out and taken out by the Flash. Last but not least, Eddie brought back a relative from his future, the Reverse Flash himself, Eobard Thawne. In the climactic showdown between Barry Allen and Team Flash, Cobalt Blue's evil crew was taken down, one by one, before he comes face-to-face with the man who ruined his life. Barry and Eddie go at it racing and fighting across Central City. Powered by the stolen Negative Speed Force energy he took from his boys, Cobalt Blue looks like he's going to win. But Barry, on the advice of a friend, tries talking Eddie down instead of trading fists.
Don't you see what's happening? You've become the person you died trying to stop.
He hoped to reach the hero inside Eddie, the man who once sacrificed his life to save others. It worked! With the help of Eddie, Barry defeats the Negative Speed Force once and for all. This brings us to the end of The Flash's series finale. It's revealed that Barry Allen and his wife Iris West Allen have a daughter, Nora. So, with a new family and years of constant running, constant fighting, and constant drama, Barry understandably looked to have some other heroes pick up the slack as he focuses on his new life. In a scene near the end of the episode, he meets with and passes the torch to 3 new speedsters. The first is Avery Ho, played by Piper Curda on CW's The Flash. Avery Ho is a relatively new character who's already made a name for herself in the Flash comics. In the comics, she was struck by lightning during a Speed Force storm created by Barry when he threw a bolt into the sky determined to share his powers.
The lightning chose me. Well, now, I'm gonna do the choosing.
That seems a little reckless, Barry, but okay. This gave her a connection to the Speed Force that she had little to no control over. Volatile and dangerous, she was brought under the wing of the Flash, August Hart, and Dr. Mina Dawn. When speedsters started turning up dead, with their powers stolen, Avery barely managed to escape. It turned out that, like in the show, the murderous speedster was none other than August Hart. Barry stopped Godspeed from taking Avery Ho's powers, saving her in the process. Avery went on to become a member of Justice League China before returning to the US to help Kid Flash and Barry beat the likes of Gorilla Grodd and Raijin. How is her appearance in the Flash finale important? Besides expanding the reach of the team internationally, it would be easy to see her adventures in new spin-offs in the CW's Arrowverse. While none have been confirmed, it's not hard to imagine that after the success of The Flash, DC's Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow, the network would be eager to keep that train coming. Avery Ho might be an integral player as she already has some deep ties built into the comics universe.
Thank you. Bye. 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 Bye.
Another speedster introduced in the finale was Max Mercury. Played by Trevor Carroll, Max Mercury was actually the original speedster in the Flash comics. A former U.S. cavalryman in the American Wild West, Mercury was given his powers by a Native American shaman. Since then, he's entered the Speed Force and traveled around time to fight villains like Savitar, help heroes like Jay Garrick, who needed assistance fighting Professor Zoom, and even mentor up-and-coming speedsters like Wally West and Barry Allen himself. Comic book fans have waited a long time to see Max Mercury, since he was a staple of the comics, though it took 9 long seasons to finally get a glimpse of the man who walks with the wind. It looks like the CW took their own spin on the character, though, as he's not a white former cavalryman. Instead, this Max Mercury is Native American. This makes his character all the more intriguing, as it's a group with little representation in superhero comics and movies.
Time to go home.
Max Mercury.
If there is a spin-off featuring the new speedster, will he serve as a mentor as he did in the comics? Better yet, will we see his battles against the negative Speed Force villains at different points in history? The new trio is rounded out by Jess Chambers. Played in the finale by actress Hannah Destiny Huggins, Chambers has a cool history in the comics as well. In the pages of DC's hit series, Jess Chambers is a speedster from Earth 11. She learned about a grave threat to another universe, Earth Zero, and traversed reality to get there and help what was left of the Justice League fight the Hyper Clan. One of the more notable aspects of her character was the fact that she dated Aquawoman. As little representation there is of Native Americans in comics, members of the LGBTQ+ community also need more characters. Jess Chambers' introduction might fill that voice in any future The Flash spin-offs.
Jess Chambers.
What does Grant Gustin, the actor who played the iconic Flash for 9 seasons, think of the universe's future and the new speedsters? When talking about the end of the finale, Gustin said, "I think it was just a good testament and indication of what the show had always been, and that there was a lot of hope on the horizon." Well said, Grant. We're all going to miss watching your adventures on The Flash, but there is a bright future for the franchise. Not only could we see shows featuring Nora West Allen, Jess Chambers, Max Mercury, and Avery Ho, there's also the opportunity to see the lives of iconic villains like the Reverse Flash explored. So whether it's more diverse speedsters like Avery Ho, a new take on a classic like Max Mercury, or the Flash first LGBTQ+ character Jess Chambers, those were the new speedsters revealed in The Flash Season 9 finale.